War broke out in 1941.
Okay.
Lil and I were going together. I was 20 years old. Well, when the war broke out, we figured I'd be one of the first drafted. So therefore, we got married December the 20th. And so we've been married ever since for 68 years now.
Wow.
I was only in the one battle. When I was drafted and left here, I landed at Leyte, and that was just when MacArthur had departed and made the promise to the Philippines that I shall return. In Leyte, we were there for maybe 2 or 3 months, and we didn't actually go into any battle in Leyte because we were there unloading ships and getting supplies into Leyte. And after that, then I went to, I can't even think of the place, to Luzon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And there we were in rest and relaxation, if you want to call it that. And then later on we were shipped up into the mountains, and I fought up what they call the Viliveri Trail in the Philippines. We heard some commotion, so we thought, uh-oh, somebody's coming. And so we all leaned over the bar pit, with our guns and everything ready. And I can remember, I believe he was a Mexican boy leaning over me, and I could feel his heart beating on my back. And we were all just as scared as he was, not knowing. But the next night, we heard groans down the hill a little bit from us, but we didn't know whether they were our men or the enemy. So what do? You didn't want them creeping up on you, so you just pulled the pin on a hand grenade and threw a couple of them over, and then the groans disappeared. So, you live with that. Did I kill my own people, or was that an enemy trying to sneak up on us, I was shot in the corner of the eye there. It came out my jaw there, into my shoulder there, and out the backside. I didn't feel a thing. All I knew that the sergeant alongside of me was hauling out for medics. He had evidently got wounded. And I was down on one knee. We were going up an incline, and I was down on one knee putting another clip in my M1 when everything just went black. And all I can remember, I guess I remembered, was thinking, this is it. I figured I was dead. And then when I finally did come to, there was a couple of guys leaning over me, asking me if I had received any morphine or anything. Well, being blacked out and just coming back, I said, I don't know. I said, it's up to you guys. So they put me on a litter and carried me out, and the next thing I knew, they was putting me in the tail section of a Piper Cub airplane. They flew me out down to a hospital zone, I guess. They had evidently given me morphine because I blacked out then, and the next thing I remembered was these blazing lights shining down on me and looking at these fellas with white gowns on. And this one doctor was leaning down with me, and he said, well, son, he says, you got the $1 million wound. To me, what did $1 million wound mean? Well, he says, you're going stateside. But then, I didn't know what was wrong with me. I didn't feel anything. But they had evidently put me in a cast from the waist on up, with my arm, of course, in that position. Had that happened now and then, they could have repaired that shoulder to where I would have had full use. See, I can only lift it that far and so forth. So even when I'm shaving, that arm automatically goes over there, and I'm shaving. My wife always keeps after me. She said, put that arm down, but it's just a natural reaction that I have. The thing that frightened my wife, when she got the telegram read, the U.S. Department is sorry to inform you that your husband, and then it was folded.
Oh,
she didn't know what to expect, but then it said wounded. My first letter to my wife was saying, I've been shot in the face, so I don't know what I'm going to look like when you first get to see me. But fortunately, it had started to heal a little bit. I was swelled up and completely paralyzed on that side. In fact, even now, if my nose runs, I can't feel it. She has to give me a kind of a point, and I wipe it almost just automatically.
Yeah.
There was no jobs when we come back, and of course
Yeah.
they wouldn't let me go back down in the mines.
Uh-huh.
You're too young to remember. Nystrom's had a chicken place down on the boulevard, and they provided almost all of the fresh chicken for almost all of the butcher shops. No, it was after that, and I was looking for any kind of a job I could find. I didn't want picking chickens to be my vocation, and I don't know how many chickens I killed, plucked, and whatnot. And then I went to work for Steele's on the GI Bill of Rights. We managed to get by, and then of course kids come along, and you needed a little more income for them.